Hello and hi to all students. Today we're gonna do an experiment. Today's experiment we call Izod Impact. So now let's get started. The apparatus and equipment that we use in this experiment called impact testing machine. First, we have to choose the Izod test specimen. First one we use cast iron. After that, we test the machine first for friction loss by adjusting the pointer to 164 joule. Then the pendulum is released by operating the lever without keeping the specimen. After that, we put the specimen in position. After that, the pendulum is released. The hammer will strike against the specimen and it will break. Next, for the second trial, we use the same type of test specimen, which is cast iron. Then we put the test specimen placed in position. After that, the pendulum is released. The hammer will strike against the specimen and specimen will break it. Next, after finish the second trial, we proceed to the third trial. We repeat the same step from step 3 for the third trial. We put the specimen in place. Then the pendulum is released. The hammer will strike against the specimen and it will break. After we finish the third step, we proceed to the next Izod test specimen, which is mild steel. For the mild steel, we test the machine first for friction loss by adjusting the pointer to 164 joule. Then the pendulum is released by operating the lever without keeping the specimen. Next, we put the specimen in place. After that, the pendulum is released. The hammer will strike against the specimen and the specimen will break. After we finish for the first trial of mild steel, we proceed to the second trial. We use the same specimen for the second trial. We put the test specimen in place. Then the pendulum is released. The hammer will strike against the specimen and the specimen will break. After that, we proceed to the third trial. Then select the same specimen test and place in position for the third trial. After that, the pendulum is released. The hammer strikes again the specimen. The test pieces was not broken by striking energy of the testing machine, so the impact value is indefinite. So here the observation for the all trial. Now proceed to the discussion.
For discussion, first, strength. Mild steel is stronger than cast iron. Second, cost. Mild steel is more expensive than cast iron because it is more robust and can be used for a broader range of application. Thirdly, melting point. Mild steel has a higher melting point than cast iron. Fourth, ductility. Mild steel has more ductile than cast iron, which can be shaped into thin sheet without breaking.
At the point of impact, the striker had a known amount of kinetic energy. The impact energy was calculated based on the height to which the striker risen. Tough materials absorb a lot of energy, whilst brittle materials tend to absorb very little energy prior to fracture. Considering also the factors affecting the Izod impact energy such as the yield and ductility, where the impact energy will be seen to decrease if the yield strength is increased, if the material undergoes some process that make it more brittle and less able to undergo plastic deformation. In conclusion, therefore, testing our material is very important, and one of them is using of Izod impact testing, which is really helpful in finding out the impact resistance of specimen. That is really important, especially if the material shall be used in construction, which we need to test the materials to know its capacity.
For the recommendation, first, preparing material for Izod impact testing by injection molding. As with any plastic test, the way a specimen is prepared can influence test result greatly. It is critical that use refer to the ASTM material specification for the material being tested to determine how the specimen are to be prepared. Most specimens are to be prepared by injection molding. The mold can be specifically designed to produce specimen, or the specimen may be cut an extra specimen need to be prepared since notching requires dummy bar be used when notching the specimen. So that means at minimum of 7 specimens of any particular sample need to be prepared for testing. Improving consistency of Izod test result. Currently, work is underway is ASTM committees to revise D256 to eliminate the requirement to machine the specimen and to define the actual point on the specimen where the depth is to be measured. Reporting. The result should be reported to accordance with the ASTM standards. This includes reporting the energy absorbed by the sample, as well as any other relevant information such as the temperature at which the test was conducted.